Good music, though. We welcome to the program now the Element Well Studio, Alyssa Arbuckle, multimedia journalist with SuperTalk Mississippi News. All right, Alyssa. A lot of stuff going on across the nation, a little bit of stuff going on here in the state of Mississippi. Let's start with the state of Mississippi. On our website, a good article about what's happening up at Delta State University.
Yeah.
Give us a rundown of that.
Great. So we've got, for the first year, it's his first year serving as president of Delta State, is Dr. Daniel Ennis. And he was hired from Coastal Carolina. They are having a lot of budget issues and revenue because the area, in the Delta, the population's declining. So the school is starting to have attendance decline and enrollment decline. So they hired him to kind of see if he could help out with the budget, raise some money through federal and state funding, see what he could do. And he's been known to be really good at it. So this is his first year. So far, Delta State has had a 48% decline in enrollment since 2007, not 2017.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they have a $51 million budget right now, and that's going to have to be cut down to $40 million. He spoke with the IHL, I think that was Tuesday, and they both agreed that it needs to be cut by $11 million. And right now it's not possible. They have 5 years to do it and decrease the budget because they have, things like people's salaries, like other contracts. So Ennis is now looking to have some federal and state funds come in, and he's looking to double Delta State's centennial campaign goal from $50 million to $100 million. So, like I said, he thought that they were going to be able to work on a budget of $51 million, and so he was going to try to get $50 million. Well, now that's doubled with a decrease in overall budget. So they've already cut down the budget by $4.4 million earlier this year, but they're going to have to do it by another $5.5 million pretty soon. But fortunately, they received a $2 million grant this week to fund its destination graduation program, which helps undergrad and grad students make their way through college and keep enrollment up. So that should help them out through the next couple of years.
And he's not minced any words, Dr. Ennis. He said that they may have to resort to laying off faculty.
Yes.
Cutting administrative positions as well, perhaps even salary cuts. Maybe even eliminating total departments, complete departments, to try to achieve, I think his word is sustainable. Make the university sustainable, put it on a sustainable path. So those are very difficult decisions, no doubt about that, but it is a function, for the most part, of just declining enrollment.
Definitely.
Well, all right, we'll see where that goes. So we've been talking this morning quite a bit about the vote for the Speaker of the House. As you know, that just failed again, the third attempt to elect Representative Jim Jordan. That did not go in the representative's favor. We're not really sure what's going to happen next, though. What are you hearing anything? I've been talking to Michael Guest this morning. He just sent me another text. He said the 3 new Jordan no votes so far have something in common. This is from Michael. All 3 are battleground Republicans in seats which in Biden won seats. In other words, so Fitzpatrick in Pennsylvania, Keene in New Jersey, Molinaro in New York. So they're in. That's the issue. They're in districts that could go either way. And they kind of read the tea leaves, and they get the feeling that should they throw their support behind Jim Jordan, that could be detrimental to them as they seek re-election. That's this time next year. It's a year away, virtually, in a district that could just go either way. And it could be used against him in a district that's more moderate in nature. So this is a conundrum. I don't know what's going to happen next. I just asked Congressman Guest, okay, what's next? And I think he's trying to figure it out, too.
I don't think anybody knows quite what's going to happen yet. I mean, it's the first time, it was Wednesday, I think, that he became the first majority nominee in the century to get less than 200 votes. He needs 217 to win. I think that's really interesting that the last one was in 1923. 100 years ago. And Frederick H. Gillett got 197 votes before eventually becoming the Speaker of the House.
I'll be darned.
100 years. So I think we haven't seen it in 100 years. It's going to be an interesting result, to say the least, I think. I also think it's really interesting that, it's been a declining amount of votes for him, for Jordan. And I think it's really interesting that Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic nominee, he's also getting more than him now. I mean, and that started on Wednesday and repeated again today, I believe, last I saw. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen myself, but I mean, if Guest doesn't know, I definitely don't know either.
Yeah, I understand. Well, it's just interesting that if you look at this common thread, as Michael points out, that these are districts that Biden won in 2020. And so they're just concerned that if they voted for Jordan, that might factor into their bid for re-election. Because clearly they're Republicans representing a district that a Democrat president won.
Yes.
So, and they barely prevailed in the midterms, and they're just trying to hang on to their seat. And again, doing some calibration. All right, so let's talk about the situation with Natalie Holloway. I mean, just big revelations this week.
Definitely. It was a 2005 murder, so it's been 19 years since this happened. So we've got Jordan Vandersloot. He's a Dutch citizen.
Yeah.
He admitted this week under oath to killing Natalie Holloway as part of a plea deal. Natalie Holloway, she was born in Mississippi, but then moved to Mountain Brook, Alabama. So she was originally a Mississippi resident, and she was 18 years old when she disappeared during a senior trip to Aruba in 2005. She left a nightclub with Vandersloot, and after that, everybody was wondering, what happened to her? Who did it? There were a lot of people involved, and two guys driving a car, and then there's Vandersloot, and it was a lot of different facts and different accounts of what happened. But now Vandersloot has admitted to dumping her body into the ocean. He said the reason why he did it was that he hit her with a cinder block on the beach in Aruba before dumping her body because she refused his sexual advances. And then he went home. And then after that, he had charges of extortion and wire fraud because he apparently talked to Holloway's mother. Her name's Beth Holloway. And said that he would reveal where her daughter's body was for $250,000. Nobody knows where the body is now. It's not going to be able to be recovered, to my knowledge. But he also he pled guilty to defrauding and extorting money from Beth Holloway. And he'll be in jail for 20 years, but he's also in prison for killing another Peruvian woman in 2010. So that was 5 years after killing Natalie Holloway.
So he just came forward, right, and just confessed and started talking to authorities, disclosing all the details.
I mean, it's almost been 2 decades since it happened. So, I mean, it's about time that everybody found out, and Natalie's mother, Beth, found out the truth and had an actual confession from him. She's released some statements about it as well. You can read it online. It's really interesting stuff. Our staff did a really great job of covering it.
Really incredible that really after all these years that he finally decided to speak up. I wonder if there was any particular motivation for that, if he ever said that. I watched some interviews with him. He really never said. Yeah, sad story for sure. I have seen some discussions with her mother, Natalie's mother, and she seems to be just relieved that there is at least some degree of closure. Of course, she's still incredibly sad about the loss of her daughter, but she feels some degree of just getting this thing wrapped up and knowing the ultimate disposition, what caused it, not wondering that anymore. Alyssa, appreciate you coming in. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
We're coming right back in the element.